Hi everyone. So, as introduced, I'm Miha Jagodic, the CEO and one of the co-founders of Bloqit. I'm going to keep it short, maybe leave more time for potential Q&A afterwards. But what I'm going to talk about today is the importance of smart lockers. I'm sure you saw a lot of smart lockers today, so I'm going to focus on the importance of smart lockers in the second-hand marketplaces, and I'm going to explain these on the example of our collaboration with Vinted Go. So first of all, what is Vinted? I'm sure majority of you must know who they are. Second-hand marketplace for second-hand clothes. So basically, they have over 80 million active users. They're present, I believe, in 19 markets across Europe and the Americas. And basically, what they're doing is very simple. They provide a platform in which a buyer and a seller can exchange their second-hand clothing. So furthermore, they created the Vinted Go. Vinted Go basically consists of the three things. One is, the Vinted Go network is lockers and PUDO shops, PUDO stores. Second one is Vinted Go the operations. This goes for the sorting center and the warehouse and stuff like that. And the third one is integrations with all the parties in these locations, in all these markets they're present. So the question is how to enhance the shipping experience of all these more than 80 million active users they have. We have a problem when it comes to especially the second hand. We like to say that the last mile is broken. This even more goes for the second hand marketplaces. So the reason for that is that the items that people are exchanging are very low in value. If you're buying something for €5 and then the delivery cost is €4 on top of that, this kind of doesn't make sense anymore, right? So what to do now? How to solve that? A big surprise. Company that was using smart lockers, and compared to a courier that is only delivering to homes, the difference is big. Actually, they were able to be 10 to 13 times more efficient. I think we kind of know the reasons. The reasons are you can drop multiple parcels at the same time when you deliver to a locker network. You have no failed deliveries. It's just one of the best ways how to exchange an item with an unattended delivery, basically. So obviously, it takes two to tango. So when Vinted was trying to solve this, they found us. So why Bloqit? We like to, if we need to explain ourselves in the shortest way, we just ask people, so imagine you can build an entire locker network with a push of a button. And basically Bloqit is that button. We combine all four aspects that you need to build a successful and efficient locker network. I'm talking about the smart locker software, hardware solution, operations, so we do everything from maintenance and deployments. And the fourth one, which I think is very important, and sometimes our partners don't recognize it as much, is we collect a lot of know-how and expertise in-house, and we actually like to advise how the locker network is efficiently built. Special importance we give to our software, our Bloqit operating system, our software ecosystem. It consists of many aspects. I'm very happy to go much deeper into that on our booth in Hall 11. But we believe right now we have the most comprehensive software solution on the market. For us, that's very important. It defines the user experience of our partners and the final users. It defines how easy it is to integrate with the solution and the existing solution of a partner, and also how customizable the solution is. And then we began. This was our beginnings with Bloqit and Vinted Go, and what came out of it is actually a VLocker. So VLocker is basically a smart locker with a little bit of unusual dimensions and standards. First of all, the items of Vinted are very small, very compact, so we had to design a different configuration. It had to be easy to transport. Also, a lot of times the items that Vinted users are shipping around are very unusual. So I've seen their clothes being put in cereal boxes, in plastic bags, and so on. So we kind of had to integrate also a label printer to make it look like a package at the end. So yeah, it was a lot of customizations. You can actually see one of the VLockers on our booth as well. So from the beginning from the signature of the agreement to the first locker deployed in the ground in Paris already, we took 2 months. and a month after, the product was already launched. So we like to be very agile. We like to put a lot of attention to the project we're working with. This is how it looked basically when there was nothing in the Paris warehouse yet. We had the first lockers. Today we have over 1,000 lockers placed across France in different cities. In October there was already over 500,000 parcels shipped through the network, so the adoption is very good. It looks something like this. We couldn't put all of them, so we just put some random pictures of the locker network together. It looks like this. We like to keep developing and improving the product in different needs. So obviously now we have a lot of different versions of VLocker. The first one was an indoor, then we did an outdoor, then we improved a lot of features on it, then we extended it. So now actually it has almost 100 doors in a very small, compact space. Actually, we optimized their locker so much, we like to say that shipping a letter from Portugal to France is more expensive than shipping our locker from Portugal to France. And I think these kind of details, when you optimize all the aspects on a large scale, really make a difference for us and for Vinted as a final client. They also conducted a research recently, and their out-of-home activities contribute directly to a lot of CO2 emission reduction. I'm not going to go more into that, but they actually have a full report in that. I think the environmental sustainability is important and why we're all working on out-of-home deliveries. So these are some facts for where we are now. We've been producing for around 400 lockers a month in our peak months. We've been deploying up to 30 lockers a day. We already processed more than 4 million packages throughout this specific network and produced over 2,000 lockers for them this year already. So plans for the future, obviously can't really talk for them too much, but they are looking to expand a lot across France, and they already announced the expansion to Benelux happening next year. And this is basically our story, Vinted Go and Bloq.it, and I hope I put a little bit more light on why smart lockers are especially important when it comes to second-hand items and second-hand marketplaces. Very happy to share more about it. Very happy to share also more about our partnership that we have with DHL on our booth, Hall 11. So, yeah, happy to host you.
Great stuff.
I guess so.
So, a couple of questions for me. A fascinating story, and it's only a 4-year story, if I'm right. Is that right?
It's maybe 5 years soon, yeah, but so, more or less.
How many people are working for Bloqit now?
So we're going to reach 50 people by the end of the year.
50 people there, and you're already working with partners and around some of the maintenance and deployment?
Yeah, so maintenance and deployment is something that we like to outsource from multiple partners. We have in-house management of all the things. The same goes for basically manufacturing, where we currently produce from 6 factories.
So part of your skill set then is partnering, I suppose. You've got your creative and innovative side, building the products, but partnering both with the industry and with the suppliers is really part of your skill set, am I right?
Yeah, interesting actually. So we focus on what we do best, and we let others do in-house what they do best, and we connect it in the most efficient mix, I would say, the most efficient combination.
So you focused initially on Paris, am I right? Or was one of your main focuses initially? How many lockers did you say you've got in Paris at the moment?
It's hard to say in Paris specifically, but I know we're past 1,000 lockers in France, in multiple cities.
France. And what does end state look like? How many when you get to an end state? And who determines end state? Is that about consumer use at the end of the day?
Yeah, so this is, in that case, it's Vinted's decision, right? I'm not sure if I can speak how they decide which city they approach, but basically we do everything else. We get a list of locations, and then it's on us.
Yeah, so a lot of this is down to, and I'll ask this question of 1 or 2 people today, is down to a view of what is convenient to the end user. And certainly speaking to Vytautas recently at Vinted, he's very much a fan of out-of-home, because it's part of a low-cost, accessible model. But it's got to be accessible. So in terms of convenience, how close do you feel this needs to be to where people live and work?
Yeah, so I think out-of-home is inevitable. I think delivering to home over time is going to become a huge premium. So I think lockers just for logistic companies is such a big incentive. And for the final user, I think once this is going to be the only free option, they will start adopting it, but the most important thing is the density, right? So we're talking a lot about the sleepers distance. So when you can go from with the sleepers to the nearby locker, then I think everyone's going to adopt it. So.
How far is that? How far will you go in your slippers?
Based on my, I live in a very convenient apartment building, so I do everything in sleepers during the day. But I would say, based on my research, in between 2028, 2030, there's going to be peak of the market, and that's when I think majority of the people will already be sleepers going to pick up their packages out of home.
I've already heard people starting to talk about flip-flop distance, which is slightly further apparently. So we'll have to work that one out as we go along. Bloq distance maybe in Holland, so we'll see. Okay, the next big thing is 4 years old, great ambitions, great plans there. Scaling up now to production of 400 per month, 30 per day, brings its challenges. What sort of challenges are involved in scaling, and how do you keep your quality of your product, which is, I know, very important to you?
No, that's a good question. So basically something we're trying to do, and I hope this is not going to sound too controversial, but when we were trying to approach the industry ourselves, 2019 building our own network at first, we couldn't find any the reliable and easily customizable solutions, right? So what we're trying to do, what we're on a mission on is never have any failed projects in our history, in our track record. So basically, want to build a name long term, all our projects being successful and executed flawlessly. That's why maybe sometimes it seems that we're adding projects, new projects, slower, but the projects we're adding, Vinted, DHL, are all big, and we make sure they're executed flawlessly. So that's bits more careful, customize, make it tailor-made, and then scale it flawlessly.
Well, that seems pretty smart to me. A young company thinking reputation from the outset, extremely important, so you don't actually trip over as you grow. Okay, so, well, it's a fascinating story. There's going to be a lot more of it to come. Can I just check if there are any questions coming from the audience around this experience? There we are, straight away. Oh, we're not switched on.
Is it? Yeah. Hi, thanks for the presentation. I was wondering, do you produce your lockers in Europe?
Yeah. So currently, our facilities are in Europe, 5 different countries, all the way from Portugal, where we have 2, to Poland, Turkey, and so on. So all across Europe now.
Yeah. Another question from the audience? Or we can reach a natural changeover point. Okay, fascinating story. Chapter 1, I think, is over. Look forward to hearing the next chapters in due course. So, big hand, I think, now for Miha. Thanks very much, Miha. Thank you. Terrific. The stories continue, and this is another